I would say like it's really user-friendly in terms of like when you need to enter something. So I am going to give a behavior deduction, or in the elementary school we call it a color change, right? Or I do need to log a parent communication. It's really easy to use on your phone or on the computer. It's also really easy to edit or change. So I made that phone call yesterday, but I forgot to log it. I can go ahead and log it today and change the date. And or when I printed it up, I realized I misspelled 3 things. I can go back and change that. So it's super, super easy, good user interface, but also big picture allows you to track everything that needs to be tracked so that you can be looking at things to make decisions and to keep reports and records. Yeah, I mean, on one level, just from an administrative perspective, anytime that there's an issue and I get a text or an email that somebody wants me involved in a situation, that situation has mostly been ongoing, and the fastest way to catch up is have a place that sort of stores all the communication and then even things that aren't related to communication. So there were 4 phone calls home on Tuesday. If I also compare that to that student's behavior logs, right on the same student page, I can see, oh, now I know why. He went to TOC and this is what he said when he went to the timeout center. And then when he got back to class, he did this again. So I can sort of use both those pieces of data to get a really good picture of what's happening around a given situation for a given student. Also, I think particularly with the phone app, Schoolrunner's made it almost impossible not to record a communication. The way it works is when you pull up the student's phone number in Schoolrunner, when you hang up, it's sitting right there on your phone that you literally have to work at getting rid of it if you don't type something in. And that really just raises it to sort of the level of consciousness of like, oh, I really did just call this parent and our school policy is recorded in Schoolrunner. And I think that has really helped us as a school that we now are much better at logging all of our communications because it's impossible not to. You need to find the parent's phone number, you pull it up, you dial it, and then Schoolrunner says, okay, now log it. And so that's been really helpful for us here. Where I moved from that to everything is done on the computer. I carry my computer around with me all the time. When I'm observing a teacher's classroom, I pull up their gradebook report and I look at it to sort of figure out what my coaching feedback is going to be based on what their student data is. It's 2 totally different worlds. And it really has changed a lot. And I think for me, moving from teaching, where I was using my data by myself to try to be as targeted as I could, that data belonged to me and my clipboard. So I could never have a conversation with my principal as deep as I, as a coach now, am able to have with teachers, because he couldn't come into a meeting already knowing my data. I had to give it to him and ask him 15 questions based on what I was thinking. Now the script is totally flipped, right? Like I watch a teacher, I pull up their data that we store in Schoolrunner, and I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm looking at their data, and I bring that to the table and say, so this is what I noticed from Schoolrunner. This is the choice I saw you make about that in your classroom. Like, let's talk about that. Let's marry those 2 things. And I think it's really able to sort of up the game for increasing the quality of teacher practice. And so that's how I sort of think about where I came from as a teacher when we didn't have that to where I am now.